I texted him. Yeah, okay. Oats is coming first. Okay. All right, test. There we go. Hey, we're in business. Okay, everybody good back there? Oh, what should I put there?
All right, guys. Obviously, we got to make it's going to be a quick 10 minutes. Start with Coach. Hopefully, same and get questions. Try to get everyone in 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, exciting time for our program, uncharted territories for the program, for myself. I've never coached in one of these, so super excited. We're trying to keep the distractions to a minimum, knowing that there's a lot of hype surrounding the Final Four. That's going to be a big distraction to players, but I think our guys stayed pretty locked in during the Sweet 16 week, and we're really focused on what they had to do against Carolina and Clemson. I'm hoping we're able to maintain the same focus. Yukon's obviously super talented. I mean, they're picked to win it. They've kind of run through the tournament the last year and this year. Don't think they've even had a single-digit win. So, we've got a daunting task in front of us, but, we're going to give our guys a game plan, and they've done a pretty good job getting locked into the scouting reports here these last 4 games in the tournament. And, we're going to give them a game plan that'll give us a chance, and we're going to have to make some shots. UConn's going to need to miss some shots. We're going to try to play the way we play. We're not going to change our style. We're going to try to play fast. UConn's transition game's elite, so it's not like they're going to slow it down on us. When they get in the half court, their sets run a little longer. So if you guys that have gotten all into analytics look, and their tempo's slow like it shows on KenPom, it's more because their half-court sets are pretty elaborate and take some time. It's not because they don't run. Like if you watch their 30-0 run on Illinois, they get out and run. So our transition D's got to be great. They will run on you. Just if they don't get a layup, then they probably run the best sets of anybody I've seen all year. So we've got to do a great job in transition. We got to do a great job guarding the half court. We got to do a great job rebounding it because they get you on the O boards. They've got we had the number 1 offense in the country for a while. Reitzel got hurt, and we've fallen. They have the number 1 offense in the country now, but they also have a top 5 defense. So they've kind of combined both sides of the ball that are elite, and we've got our hands full. So today was the first day Reitzel was able to practice. He was limited in what he could do, but glad he was out there. And then based on, he's got day-to-day evaluations based on how tomorrow morning's evaluation goes. We'll see where he goes the rest of the week. Our hopes are that he's going to be able to play on Saturday, though. And then Nick, you guys were all in practice and saw he's playing. He's tough. He's kind of gotten through this foot injury that he's had, and I thought he looked pretty good in practice today. So, and nobody's going to be 100% at this time of the year. We know that. Just some guys are a little more banged up than others at this point.
Coach, I just want to ask about Clingan. What you see from him? What stands out? And how does a guy like Irwin kind of give you guys a look at practice being 42?
Yeah, I mean, Irwin was SEC Player of the Year. Scored it pretty well in the post. He's not young like Clingan. He's not near as big, so he can't give us a exact look, but it gives us a pretty good look on a lot of post players in practice. So it's nice that we've got Irwin, as a grad assistant that's able to kind of go in on the scout team sometimes. But look, so our analytics company, they kind of ran the numbers. Like Zach Edey's the most efficient post player in the country. We played against him. He's obviously really good. Klingan's the second most efficient post player in the country. Like the points per chance when he gets the ball in the post, they're second best in the country behind Edie. So we've got our hands full. You know, Baycott was good. We played against some of the best bigs in the country. You know, at the non-conference, we had Edie, Balo, Kalkbrenner. You know, we've had Tennessee and Adu. We've had Tolu Smith. We just played against Baycott with North Carolina. But Clingan's a little different. He's not quite as big as Edie, but he's bigger than the rest of those guys, and he passes really well. So, you know, you look at, if you don't double him, we've had issues guarding the post. If you double him, he passes well. Like, you got to pick your poison a little bit, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what we want to do with that. But, you know, you may have to mix it up. I mean, if you give really good players the same thing over and over and over again, they figure it out. And he's been pretty good passing out. Some teams have been good playing him one-on-one, but they've also had a little bit bigger rim protection, you know, and we've been good with kind of mixing it up a little bit, maybe like we did with Baycott. So we're still looking at all that stuff, and we're just starting to put the scout in. We've got, you know, 3 more days of practice before we play to actually get it all in.
Yeah, Nick Pringle, how has his defense improved these last few games, or how have you seen his defense evolve this season?
You know, he moves well. He's been playing tough. I mean, like double-digit rebounds. We've given him a little bit of help with, you know, kind of trapping the post a little bit. You know, we some of him maybe struggling on defense is some on us not putting him in the right spots all the time too. Like, kind of us trying to figure out what works best with him. You know, but he's given us everything he's got these last 4 games. I think he's rebounded really well. You know, he's battled in there with some of the better bigs. I mean, you look at the last 2 games. I mean, Baycott and P.J. Hall, maybe the 2 best bigs in the ACC, and he kind of battled them head to head, you know, both games and didn't back down at all. So, you know, we maybe should have been helping him with some doubles and a little more digging down and a little bit of that, because, you know, he's strong, he's athletic, you know, he's just not as big maybe as someone, but he moves his feet better and he can move. So we had to play to his strengths a little bit more. I think we're figuring it out. Better late than never, but he's been significantly better for us over this tournament run for sure.
Nate, I'm going to try to ask this correct way. So, as you know, the Final Four is so huge, it's almost like a championship in and of itself. So it's like reaching that, right? So here you are. Is there some kind of, and the only word I can think of is relaxation, that may not be the right word, to the team in that you've made it here, now let's just let loose, let's play like we play, you know, let the chips fall where they may kind of thing, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, especially somebody showed me where the, was it the 4th largest point spread going in the Final Four in history. So, you know, nobody's going to pick us to win. You know, kind of playing with house money a little bit, if you will. But, you know, our guys, we weren't supposed to beat Clemson. We weren't supposed to beat North Carolina. A lot of people were picking against us because Grand Canyon. I mean, and I get it. Like, our defense hasn't been good all year. You know, you need a good defense to win in the postseason. But I think if you go run the numbers on our 4 games, if you take out from the time we got up 31 on Charleston, just take those minutes out, because our guys relaxed a little bit, as what human nature would allow you to do when you're up 31. I'm not saying it's right, and I wish we had, and I wish we'd done a better job closing that game against Charleston. But if you take out the time from when we got up 31 on them and look at the rest of the minutes in this tournament, our defense has been pretty good. Not Yukon's level good, but pretty good. So, you know, if you take a top 3 offense, and when we were healthy, we had the number 1 offense for a majority of the year, and put it together with a top 20 or 30 defense, you can be pretty good. So, you know, we're not going to be picked to win. I know that, but sometimes, you know, the best team, the one that's picked, doesn't always win. So we were an underdog against Carolina. Not as big as we are now, but we figured out a way to win. So I don't think our guys are going to relax to the point where they're not going to play hard and be ready to play. I think we played hard like these last 4 games. We're going to go in playing as hard as we can, but there's not going to be a ton of pressure on us. Like, we've made the school's first Final Four. You know, we're going to enjoy the fact that we're there, that there's only 4 teams left playing. The entire world, basketball world, I mean, this isn't just the U.S. watching this. This is all basketball across the globe watching the Final Four. They're all going to, like, it's great. But you're there, we're going to try to win. Every game we play, we try to win it. So we're gonna give them a scouting report that we think can work. Now, there's been a lot of really good scouting reports that went into the game and then it didn't look so good after the game. But we're gonna put one together that I think is gonna be good, and our guys are gonna play hard. They're gonna give it what they got, and we're gonna try to win the game, obviously. But they're good, so I don't know that there's gonna be a relaxation, but there's gonna be we shouldn't be playing nervous. We should be playing free, hard, max effort, but with some confidence, knowing that we've got here, but also a little bit of freedom, if you will.
Hi, Coach. Right here. When you were recruiting Mark Sears, did you think that he could be such a dominant player at this level? Because he didn't have to carry the team a whole lot last season. He obviously has a lot this year.
I mean, he didn't have any high major scholarships coming out of high school. We probably screwed up and didn't offer him out of high school. It's probably not a probably. We did screw up. You know, he goes to Ohio. He's pretty good. I was in that league. I called a lot of coaches in the league. They said, yeah, he's good enough for you. Nobody told me he's going to be this good. I didn't think he was going to be this good when we got him. Even last year, I think he surprised a lot of people being the second leading scorer on the number 1 team in the country. But he's literally improved every single summer, from like high school to prep school to freshman year. Didn't shoot it well his freshman year to sophomore year. He keeps improving. But that's because he works. I mean, he gets in the gym and really works. Like we're at the last week of the season. We practiced yesterday morning. He's back in here in the afternoon. I wouldn't doubt if he's in at night. Like he comes in and works. So did I think he was going to be this good? Look, nobody did. Maybe his mom did, but I don't think anybody. And his dad's pretty confident too. He's got a great family. I don't think anybody thought most outstanding player in the regionals to send us to the Final Four. That would have been a little. But I'll say this: when he did get here and started playing live last summer, he was better than I thought. Better point guard, better at everything. Really shot it well, and he's just continued to improve in all aspects. And I really think his leadership and his defense have significantly improved here over the last month, which has enabled us to get what we're getting. If his leadership and defense don't improve like it has, we're not playing right now. Our season's over. Because of that, we're still playing, and he's as good all-around guard as there is in the country over the last month or so.
Y'all are one of the biggest underdogs, point spread wise, in the last 50 years. You guys
fourth largest, I heard,
tied
right?
for 4th, yeah. Do you guys use that as
I didn't know that till I was walking in here, so we will definitely use that, though. All the slights that everybody had going into the other games, our players took note, and now we were never, 11 and a half? Is that what somebody showed me? 11 and a half. Yeah. We were never that big of underdogs. What was our, what were we against Carolina? 4.5. 4.5? It's only 7 points off. It's a lot of points in the spread. 11 and a half's a lot. I'm sure our players will see that and use it.
Just for you coaching against Dan, with the history that you have with his family and on this stage, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's super cool, actually. He recruited my kid, E.C. Matthews, back. E.C. was really good guard, top 100 guard in the country. My last year at Romulus, he was a senior, and Danny Preston was the lead recruiter on EC, and then at Rhode Island under the previous coach. And then Danny gets the job, retains Preston. Danny starts to recruit him along with Preston. Bobby comes in on some visits. They're trying to sell EC to be a point guard. And Bobby's arguably the best point guard to ever play college basketball. And so great selling points. I get to know Bobby through that, get to know Danny really well through the recruitment. Bobby gets the head job. You know, Bobby had been in, saw me work as a high school coach. They got a lot of respect for high school coaches, the two of them, with their dad being a Hall of Fame coach. And Bobby gives me a chance, and shoot, it was good for both of us. We win big. He gets the Arizona State job, and he's still there, which to be someplace for 9 years, you know, it's good. And he's doing well. It's ironic. It's in Phoenix, right there with his brother. You know, I don't know that we'll be breaking bread Friday night with me, Bobby, and Danny, but it is kind of cool that we're playing each other in the Final Four in Bobby's hometown, current hometown now. You know, Danny's one of the guys I talk to a lot during the year. He's obviously really good. We both have a high school background. We've both known each other for a long time. I probably won't be asking him his advice on how to handle the week of the Final Four, since he's done a pretty good job at last year and done a pretty good job so far. But, you know, look, we're both going to get our teams ready to play. We're going to be super competitive. I'm sure he's going to be on the refs as usual. I might be a little bit as well. We'll both coach the game super intense, and then, you know, whoever wins at the end, we'll hug it out and cheer for the other one in the final and be friends again after the game. But yeah, I did talk to him for a little bit yesterday. He's been great. I mean, we had a similar situation my last year at Buffalo when I played Bobby in the tournament, which, you know, it was my boss. It was a little different. But yeah, so this is the second time I played one of the Hurley brothers in the NCAA tournament. This one's on a little bit bigger stage. So tons of respect for those guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for either one. Like, you know, Danny brought Bobby, got him in. Bobby brought me. Bobby's a mentor of mine, as is Danny. And so it is super cool that I'm playing against him. I wish his team wasn't so good that I was playing against. But yeah, it's cool. So, all right, thanks, guys. Yep.
Rylan, Sam, and Grant will be here.
You're 4-0 against the spread, if it makes you feel better.
Hello. Test.
All right, let's go ahead and raise a question. We got to get these guys out because they still got to go home, so we'll go through this real quick. Charlie, go ahead, see it started.
Just for Grant, whenever you've watched Yukon, what stands out about Clingan? And then also, secondly, I saw you guys going against Irwin in practice. I think that's something you do a lot. What is that like to prepare you for bigs like that?
Yeah, they're a physical team. They're just solid all around. So, I mean, obviously we got to really lock in the scouting report. And then, I mean, going against Irwin every day, I mean, 2002 SEC Player of the Year, he's pretty good. So, I mean, it gives us a look for bigs like Clingan. And, I mean, it's just a good look every day at practice.
Left side of the room today.
Yeah, question for Sam and Rylan. What stands out about their backcourt and just some of the guys they have there?
Obviously, their guards are really dynamic. They can score at 3 levels, and they're pretty talented with Newton and Spencer. But I think that we're going to put together a good game plan to hopefully stop those guys.
Right side, Tony.
I was just asking, Coach, you know, you guys are one of the biggest underdogs in the last 50 years. Do you guys have a chip on your shoulder as being a number 4 seed and still getting the 11.5 line against?
I don't really look at the spread or nothing like that. So, nah, it don't really we just got to go out and play the game. Not really worry about any of the spreads or numbers and stuff.
Back left of the room.
This is for Rylan and Sam both. What makes, I mean, you see Mark Sears in games, you see him in practice. What makes him so hard to stop? Because a lot of people key on him and they still can't stop him.
Go ahead,
He's pretty fast. You know, he can finish at the rim. He's strong, and he can shoot. So he's a 3-level type scorer. and he's explosive, so that's probably what makes him hard to guard.
I think that, like you said, he's a really good shooter, and also he's really experienced. Like he's been playing college basketball for 4 years. He's a senior, so like it's really hard to stop a guy that's like been through the fire and he's really talented.
Rylan, I know you said you don't really look at the spread, but for any of y'all, how do you feel like y'all have kind of leaned into or maybe embraced the underdog role at different points throughout this tournament so far, and then again going into this game?
I mean, I think we've been underdogs a lot of the year, and people have really doubted us, especially going into into March Madness. So I mean, it kind of gives us extra motivation to go out there and try to prove people wrong. And yeah, I mean, it just gives us motivation. You know, it gives us another thing to work for.
Time for a few more. We'll start on the left side right here. Other side.
This question's for Rylan. So you've made a lot of like wrestling references over the past few weeks, and I wanted to ask you, like, if you guys beat Yukon, what would you compare that to as far as like a wrestling moment?
I would have to say, probably like, I think Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan was big dog. Like he was like the highest, the big time dude, like around the WWF at the time. And Ultimate Warrior came in with a bunch of energy and beat him. And he got the belt, he got the championship. Hulk Hogan was, he was just laying down on the floor, like hurt and stuff. So I would say that because Hulk Hogan's like in the GOAT conversation for WWF, and Yukon, they're a really good team. Like they're like the Hulk Hogan of college basketball right now. So, you know, Ultimate Warrior came in there and beat him. So I would say it's like that.
Coach Oats alluded to how big this stage is that you guys will be playing on and how all around the world people will be tuning in to watch your team. What do you want them to know about Alabama basketball?
I think that we're a tough team. We're obviously very competitive, and I think that we're a really good defensive team as well. Especially, I feel like we've been showing that the last couple of games. So I think that I just want to show. I think all of us want to show that we're tough and we can. We're one of the best teams in the country.
This is for all you guys. What role does the fan play? I did a story yesterday about the packages to get to Arizona selling out. A lot of fans going to be showing up. Is that important to you, and does it affect your play when you've got a lot of support in the stands?
Yeah, I feel like it's important just to show the love, but you know, we appreciate them, and yeah, they give us energy, and they help us win games, of course. But like I said, like with the Grand Canyon stuff, like at the end of the day, they can show up all they want. We still have to go on the court and execute. Like yeah, we appreciate them. Like we know they're there for us. We know they love us. But at the end of the day, they can't play the game for us. So yeah, they give us a bunch of energy, but we gotta be able to use the fans and be able to display something on the court because of the fans. Like they can't come out there and play for us as much as they probably want to. So I really appreciate them, but we gotta do what we gotta do on the court too.
Good. Just a concussion.